Do you hate when shit hits the fan and you're completely lost and not know what to do? Well, you're gonna absolutely love this video because I go through 5 steps on how to move through life when shit hits the fan. My name's Nathaniel and this is the Emotional Fitness Podcast. I'm excited for this one because this is something that is really recent to me and I utilized just this past weekend. So this past weekend, as some of you know, I play competitive touch football and we had a tournament, super excited for it. And in this tournament, we had big expectations because we won our division last time and we were ready to all rock and roll and play really well. And first game, we come out flat. Didn't go the way we planned, didn't get the breaks we wanted, didn't make the plays that we normally do. Second game, unfortunately, even the same thing. We came out, had a good start, but we didn't make the plays that we needed to, weren't playing at our full potential, and you could feel it. The energy around everybody just went down and shit was just not working. Super frustrating. We played a third game the next day and we had a good start, but the same thing, it just didn't feel like we were clicking. It didn't feel like anything was working. We made a few adjustments, it felt better, but it wasn't what we and myself thought that we could play up to. And that was the frustrating part. And to be honest, I was a little bit angry with it because I know how well myself and my teammates can play and we just weren't doing it. And so it made me think that how many times in our lives do we get these curveballs and challenges thrown in our way? And a lot of the times we sit and just stew on what didn't work and why it didn't work and all the problems we had. So that was what inspired this episode, is how to actually move through this, because this happens in relationships, this happens in being a business owner, this happens in your career, being a parent. It can hit us at any time when just stuff is just not working. So going through our 5 steps on how to move through this, and this is something I have recently done and I always help people with, but it's so cool to be able to utilize it for myself. So first step is write down what you're feeling regarding that situation. So if it's job loss, if it's a career challenge, parenting, whatever it is, write down what you're feeling. Most people don't do this step because you have to actually sit with those emotions when you do this. You have to identify why you're feeling those feelings and write them down and spend some time with it, because the easiest thing, especially in today's society, is take out the phone, pull out the remote and watch something, distract ourselves. But sit for a moment, write it down and feel it. So some of the big ones, especially in a challenging time, is fear, anger, frustration, loneliness, disappointment. Those are all some big ones that you can feel. The next step is building on that, is looking at these negative emotions. What if there was a way that you could reword that? And here's my proposal for you, is instead of calling them negative emotions, what about action signals? And just that language shift can change a lot right there. But if you look at each of these negative emotions as an action signal, this means that you got to do something different. Instead of doing the same thing over and over again, because we know that's madness, is there something else you can do? And can you feel a different emotion that will help you move through this? So instead of looking at those negative emotions, that's step 2, is those negative emotions, looking at them as action signals and countering them with an emotion of power. So for those 5 I listed, if you're feeling fear, have some appreciation, have some gratitude. If you're angry, that means you need to get excited and passionate about what you're doing. If you're feeling frustrated like I was, it means you got to get determined, and that was exactly it for myself. I got to get determined on how I can solve this and what I can do for myself and what I can do for my team to help us be better than we're playing right now, because I know we can. If you're feeling lonely, start contributing. Find somewhere you can help out, volunteer. There's tons of people that need help. And then last one there being guilt. If you're feeling guilt at all, get confident. That's an action signal for you to be confident and look at whatever you're feeling guilty about. Recognize that you can do better and get confident that you can do it. So that was step 2. Step 3 is a little more internal. And step 3 is looking at your why. So for myself, I'd really look back at, why did I start playing football? Why did I do this? Because I don't have to do this. And for me, it was having an area, a place that I can compete. A place where I feel like I can be physical, where I can take out any aggression and energy and passion, because I'm passionate about the game, and utilize it in a direction. Not only that, I have teammates that are around me that I can bring up and be a leader and make plays and have that excitement. And really a big one for me was being alive. I feel alive every time I'm on the field playing. And so when I recognize my why, it helps to put things back into perspective, because as you notice there, nothing that I said had to do with winning. Even though we lost a lot of those games, really, we lost all those games, and not very well either. So it wasn't about winning for me. It's about competing, and it's about feeling alive and having teammates and being a leader. And so when I write those down, now I know my purpose and what I'm trying to accomplish while I'm out there. And it gives you a lot of direction. So if you're struggling with your business, and this is what I'm helping a lot of small business owners with right now, is what is your why? Why did you start in the first place? Look at that. That's going to help you move through some tough times. If you are struggling as a parent, I got 2 kids. It's tough sometimes. Why do you want to be a parent? Look at that. Write it down. It's a reminder. It's an easy exercise to do. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. So the next step, step 4, is to look at, what do you want? Now, most people's responses will be, well, I don't want to lose, and I don't want to, or for myself, that was mine initially, was, well, I don't want to lose, or I don't want to feel like I'm failing, or I don't want to, but as you can see, they're all negative. And so where focus goes, energy flows. So if I'm focused on all those negative things, where do you think I'm going to go? I'm going to go back to those negative things. So if my business is failing and I don't want it to fail, I'm putting my attention on that versus, can I put my attention on what I actually want? So again, to reiterate, what do you want? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to have a better relationship with your kids, a better relationship with your partner? What does that look like? Write it down. There's something powerful that fires up your brain more when you write it down and ingrains it more. So write down what you actually want. This gives you clarity and focus, and it activates your reticular activating system, which we've talked about before, but it's your brain's targeting system. It just says, this is important. Go do it. So what do you want? And for myself, it's coming back. I want to compete again. I want to feel like every play we're competing, regardless of the score, and feel alive and feel like a leader and feel like I can help my teammates and bring them up. And so as soon as I just say that, even just now, I can feel that bit of a rush of energy on how I feel and know that those are things that I can take control of immediately. And that's where most people struggle, is that they don't realize that when you focus on what you want, most of the time, you can do something about it today. And that leads into step 5, is what are at least 3 things that you can do today to get you to what you want. So to break it down even, what is 1 thing you can do today and 2 things that you can do this week to help? So if it's, maybe you're struggling with your partner, what's something you can do to not struggle so much? What's something you can do to get you to what you want? Maybe that's going on a date. Maybe it's going on a walk. Maybe it's just talking to them and having just a completely open-hearted conversation with, in that safe space. Maybe it's working out. Maybe you need to make a few extra calls for your business. Maybe you need to ask your boss for that promotion. But I'm telling you, do it today. Because the last thing you want to do 10 years from now is look back and think, man, I wish I would have done that. So that taking action today just builds that momentum. And it's small. I'm not saying make the hugest, absolutely biggest action you can take, but even just a small step is good. And then what else can you do? And then write down 2 more things you can follow up with that immediately to get progress and to take control. And just by doing that, there's something so something so empowering. Psychologically, it's there that you feel alive when you start taking those steps. I know I have. I know the business owners I'm helping have felt the same way when they start taking action. It fires them up, they get excited. So take action, big or small. You will feel better about it. And instead of it feeling like the world's out of control and shit's hitting the fan, you're gonna love that you're holding on to this and actually doing something about it. So to recap, 1, what are you feeling? Write it down. 2, can you look at those negative emotions as action signals? And what would be the counter to that action signal? What would be the empowering emotion? And if you need help with this, please reach out. I would love to go through some of this with you. Number 3, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And number 4, what do you want? Get clear on what you want, not what you don't want. What do you actually want? Write it down. And remember, what do you want should be positive too. And number 5, what are 3 things you can do to move forward and to take action? So for myself, because again, playing this weekend, my hamstring wasn't feeling great. So I'm doing some more hamstring exercises. I'm gonna sprint, instead of just once a week, I'm gonna sprint twice a week so I can feel faster and react faster. And I'm gonna meet up with some of my teammates and talk about what we can do to get better. And even see if we can work out a practice and get a practice in, maybe even 2 before our next game. And I know 100% confidence if you do those things just like I'm doing, and those rules apply to any situation, you will 100% not hate the situation you're in and feel like you're gaining control and gaining strength and power. And it's a huge, amazing, wonderful feeling. And to be honest, I love that feeling when you have that because you're taking control of your life. So let me know how this goes. Please, if you haven't yet, subscribe. And more importantly, share it with 3 people that you think are going through a tough time that could use this. Because I do this with my friends all the time and people I know and care about. And I know that they appreciate it. So if you know somebody in that position, maybe it's yourself, write them down, do this, share it. Lastly, if you haven't yet, I would love to invite you to go to lifepurposely.ca to sign up for our weekly Words of Wisdom. Emily is putting some amazing content out there every week. I've posted some clips from it on my channel, which is amazing, or on the Instagram and Facebook. But you can see what she's writing, and these are things to help you just think differently and take action and do and take control of your life and make it the way that you want. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye for now.